That's probably most people who came to watch today. They're probably a little bit confused on what exactly it was. It was a kick scrimmage, so that was kind of our main focus. The only things that we did offensively and defensively was we got a little bit of Skelly there at the beginning, got some inside run, did a little goal line period. We're really trying to develop some toughness up front, so we wanted to make sure that we got our goal line periods in and our inside run periods, and then the rest of it was just devoted to all kicking game. Had the officials out here, which obviously they loved that. That was good work for them. But we just went through a bunch of situations, anything from just a regular PAT to a win the game PAT to an onside kick to hands team. Just kind of went the gamut of special teams. And it was really, really good work for us. I thought the players did a really good job handling what today was all about.
That first 25 minutes, what did you see out of guys like Preston, Schuler, Bognar, as far as some of those throws in the goal line situation?
Yeah, a lot of a lot of it was just those guys, especially Bognar. He's a guy who hasn't got a lot of reps up to this point, so it's just good to get some tape on him and see his progression. He's a football junkie, so he's always ready to go, and I thought he showed that. when his opportunity arose, he kind of he took it and ran with it, so he did a nice job. And the other guys just trying to make sure we're making good decisions. Preston Rice yesterday had a practice where he had a couple of turnovers, a couple of dumb decisions, so it's good to see him kind of correct those decisions, check the ball down when needed. But also, his game is he's no risk it, no biscuit type of guy, so he took a couple of those shots, which is good to see. So overall, just good work, good work by those guys.
How firm is your depth chart at this point, especially ones and twos? Still some battles going?
There are some positions that are pretty solidified. We're still going to go into this next week before we make those decisions, and then the middle of this week we'll start making those decisions for what we call future purposes, which will be what other people call scout teams. I just never liked that word, so we call them futures. So we'll make those decisions, so that JC can know who he's working with during the season with travel, lifting times, and then non-travel guys. So we'll make those decisions going into this week. We've still got a couple of battles that are out there as far as who's the one and who's the two, but we're pretty solidified right now on who's traveling and who's not.
How excited are you about a rule where you can play guys, the redshirt rule?
No question. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. For us, so there's a couple of different ways to look at it. Evaluation standpoints, you get the travel guys. So the rule is you get 4 games, and then after 4 games, you got to decide whether to play the 5th or they can redshirt. So you basically got a 4-game grace period, and guys that can help you. You have the ability now to put those guys on the bus and let them take snaps. And the reason why that's so important for me is some people use it on the front end, and they say, hey, we're gonna use this to get better evaluations on the front end, which I think that's great, and we're gonna do that too. But mainly for us, it's on the back end. When you get into those 8th, 9th, 10th weeks of the season, and you got some dudes banged up. Well, in the past, it was, I'm not gonna pull this red shirt off this kid. You're gonna have to tough it out. And you put that kid out there, and he's toughing it out, but he can only do that for so many plays. And then it really starts to hurt the team. And now, it's safer for those guys, because now you can, hey, you got 4 snaps in you, and then I'll get you off for 4 snaps, and I'll put this guy in. So it's safer for those guys, and it's better for the team as a whole.
I talked about the kicking. How are you as far as, I know Gabe, he did a great job today. But what about punting? Can I have a new punter? Do you like what you see?
Yeah, we got Steve Dawson, our Australian. He's he's a mate. He's awesome, and he can kick it. He can kick all kind of different kicks. You saw a little bit of that today. He did some straight on, some rugbies, and some all of that. Just whatever you want him to do, he can do it. And plus, he's just a phenomenal person. The kids like him. So he kind of gives us a little bit of dynamics on our punt team as far as what we can do there. Sappington, I tell you, James Sappington is probably a kid I don't talk about enough. This is a kid that's running tight end for us. He's probably got some of the best hands on the team. He's made a tremendous amount of plays for us at tight end. Plus, he goes in there, he's a backup kicker behind Gabe. Went 4 for 4 yesterday, went 3 for 4 today, and he's the backup punter. And loves doing it all. Was a guy who came in and asked me, could he move to tight end, could he get some reps there, but he didn't want to stop all of his kicking. Plus, he's our starting kickoff kicker, So just we've got a lot of depth, a lot of tools to play with right there. And then obviously we got the crazy Cuban, Gabe, as we call him, and he's been just as good as he's always been, just as crazy as he's always been. So been a lot of fun to watch those guys go to work.
It's been about 17 days since the start of practice, and about 12 days before your first game. What's one thing that you've seen in practice that you're excited about, and what's one thing that you need to see before the first game?
Excited about the competition. That's probably the biggest thing. I mean, you ask the team, it's the same thing. Nobody's safe. Everybody knows that. Every day they show up, nobody's safe. Doesn't matter what position they're playing. And that's good because we've kind of got everybody's cage rattled a little bit for the first time. And so that's probably what I'm most excited about. But we've got a lot of we've still got a lot of things that we need to nice up, discipline-wise. Learning how to play the game of football. And now those two things kind of go hand in hand, because when you have all this competition, you've got all of these stress levels up and all these anxiety levels up and all of these people trying to show coach, hey man, I can do this, so it's a good thing. And now we've got to control that and make sure that we get the discipline that we need, so that on Thursdays and Saturdays we're making good decisions for the football team. And so that's probably what we're working on right now, because of all this competition, is kind of nicing those guys in and getting some of the personalities wrangled in, so to speak, so that we don't have any dumb penalties come game day.